we're talking about the Matrix, we might as well talk about the metaverse, really. And will we one day live in the metaverse? It will happen for a lot of people. It will. And it just so happens to be one of the topics that's going on at the WF, the metaverse, because it's in the future. So look at this right here. By 2030, a large portion of the people will be in the metaverse in some way. The director at the Future Today Institute, though others, look at this, some will simply use it only to fulfill work or educational obligations. Others will live the majority of their waking hours jacked in. And if you remember, the plan was like by 2030 to have like that. And then once 6G comes up, they'll be able to bring the rest of the population into it. It is a hot topic. It is very much reality of the reality of the future. So let's look at this, you all. Look, how long will we live in the metaverse? The results of this non-scientific canvassing, 54% of experts said they expect by 2040 the metaverse will be a much more refined and truly fully immersive, well-functioning aspect of daily life for a 500,000,000 or more people globally. Wait a minute, I just now read something. It will be a truly fully immersive, well-being, well-functioning aspect of daily life for a 500,000,000. Would someone like to say how many millions of people is 500,000,000? Would you like to tell me how many people are 500,000,000? How many millions people of globally? It will be, because how many people do we have in the world right now? Around 8 billion. Is that what we have? 8 billion. That's right. Let me wait for the answer. If you're just tuning in. So is it 500 million? Is it? Is it 500 million people? Is that what 500,000,000 people are? And what did thank you, David Honey. That's what Gina Honey was talking about. It was, thank you. That's right, you all. So why would they put a statement like that? 54% of experts said they expect by 2040, it will be much more refined and truly fully immersive, well-functioning aspect of daily life for a 500,000,000 or more people globally. So, but it's a hot topic. I've been listening to a tad bit of the WEF meetings, and I'm sorry, you all, I don't like the spirit of Al Gore. I don't like his spirit whatsoever. I don't. Of all the panels up there who were speaking, no, he is like, there's something missing on the inside of him. He's too harsh and stuff. The other people, they had a peaceful like spirit, but him, no. When they asked the panel of people representing, I guess different countries, one word, you got one word to leave because we're running out of time. Some people say, water. One person said love. He said, work more, get up early, work, 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 work. I don't like him. I never did like his spirit. I just want to say and he held his head up in the air like this. He's like, when he looks at people, his head's up in the air like that. Just like that. His nose is literally up in the air. And they had this gentleman playing, one of those viola, that bass thing. And his head's up like that the whole time with that proud look on his face. I'm sorry, I don't even like to look at him. I don't. And I don't like politics, but that's one man I did not even like. I didn't care for his spirit whatsoever. I don't even think he should have been up there. He doesn't, he, no. But anyhow, we're talking about the metaverse. I'm so sorry, you. I don't like politics. I don't. But I didn't like looking at his face. I didn't, and I didn't want to hear his anger coming out of his mouth. Um, but anyway, the 20th, 2040, it'll be daily life for 500 million people. Yes, that's right, 500 million people. Um, love nature, well, so be it. No, we got to resonate on love. Love is the way forward in life. Love is peaceful. It's not harsh. It's not harsh, you all. But will we live in a metaverse world? And they really do. By 2030, they were talking about the headphones, how heavy they are on their face, really heavy. And they are. Think about Star Trek. Think about Picard going to the holodeck. To the holodeck, you all. And he could sense things, he could feel things in the holodeck. It was a different life. It was a different life in the holodeck on Star Trek. So if this was way back then, you know this technology had to be around way back then too. You know it does. Good morning. That's right. Love conquers all. That's right, you all. So this is serious, and this really is a serious subject. Metaverse in 2040, a Pew Research, whatever. So will the metaverse replace the real world? While the metaverse can effectively enable and expand access to certain aspects of work and consumption, from live events and experiences to digital art and avatar skin, you can become an avatar. It will never replace our basic need for face to face interaction and connection, even in a business section. It will never, they say. It will never do it. And talking about these avatar skins, they're building the blockchain, the layer, for you when you go into these games, like they said, Fortnite and whatever those other ones are, that you can keep your digital identity. And what you have in those one games, your digital identity can go from platform to platform, enabling you to like live in 2 or 3 worlds at once. That's what it said, your digital identity. This, you are, whether you think it or not, I don't know what kind of platforms you listen to, any social media. There is a blockchain, and that's where the crypto markets come in. Blockchain is your digital identity. That is the world forward. Okay, there's no stopping it. Okay, you just need to realize it. Okay, it's all right. I mean, it's not all right, but what can you do about it? Nothing? Live your life. So there was something else. The metaverse will enhance and not replace companies' physical? I don't know about that because they were talking about, well, the whole thing with the forum, the little bit that I did listen to, they were talking about making companies, if you don't abide by zero carbon, you will not be able to get your license, more or less. You will not be able to function. You've got to have it, you all. They want to, the one person, I forget what country it's from, he said they want to totally do away with oil, coal, and gasoline industries. And he said the capitalist mindset. We need we need a decapitalist mindset, and we need a carbonless future or something like that. It was really weird. And he's sitting there talking about the capitalists, and Al Gore sits right next to him. It just knows like that. Kind of funny. It was kind of funny. But anyhow, look, humans will live in the metaverse soon, claims Mark Zuckerberg. Look, this is the one thing I want to talk about this. Digital facsimiles of ourselves or avatars move freely from one experience to the other, taking our identities and our money with us. This is known as the metaverse, and the hype notwithstanding, it does not exist today, they say. You will be able to move freely from one experience to another with taking your identities. They're working on those identities right now through blockchain. They are. I only spent maybe 20 minutes listening to the end thing of that. And then, I tapped into the where they're talking about the metaverse. So listen to this, you all. What will life look like? It'll be three-dimensional. Users will feel fully immersed, and they may eventually be able to engage in sensory features like touch, feel, and smell. Human society will change in that it will allow for users to exist in two or more worlds that allow for expression of their true selves. They say the metaverse will fully emerge as its advocates predict. The average price, and you have to buy houses in the metaverse too, you all. Look at this. So you can have a Decentraland, $1 million, 914, $20 million. Look at that. What will it do to society when while people still need real human interaction? And they say in the metaverse will create ways to communicate with those who are far, far away. We're doing that right now. Okay, we are. I'm communicating with you. If you're in another part of the world, we're able to use this right here to communicate better with one another. And I think it's really good, to bridge those miles that were separated. And really, who goes out and really is able to like physically communicate with a lot of people anymore? Not very many people. But it says it can give users easier access to doctor visits. Listen to what I read, and you tell me if that doesn't sound like what we're doing right now. Okay, listen to this. While people still need real human interaction, the metaverse could create better ways to communicate with those who are far away. It could give users easier access to doctor visits, shopping, work, and styling. We are doing that right now in some ways. This right here is proof that we are doing that right now, communicating far away. It could give users easier access to doctor visits. Right now, you can do a virtual doctor. When my husband, with his VA appointments at times, when there was like whatever, he could talk to the VA doctor virtually, see her, and she could see him. And work. We're already telecommuting, working from home. You connect through whatever software your company has, and you communicate like that virtually. Styling, I don't even know what a styling means, I don't. So in some aspect, it seems like we're partly in something like that right now, or at the very beginning stages of it. And they ask, can you get in trouble in the metaverse? You can't go to jail in the metaverse, but certain platforms reserve the right to ban you if you violate their terms of service. Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this, you all. Let's please listen closely. Are we in a type of a metaverse right now? And can you get in trouble in the metaverse? You can't go to jail, but certain platforms do reserve the right to ban users who harm others or violate the terms of service. YouTube itself, you will get banned from YouTube if you violate their terms of service. You will. There's other social medias that does it, like Facebook, they'll ban you. Despite the fact that everything's virtual, grave criminal offenses could result in persecutions back in the real world. You can get yourself in big time trouble in the real world, in the metaverse. You can get yourself in big time trouble right now in the real world on the social media. You can. It can have far reaching consequences, you all. Now, here it is. Look, so this right here that I'm getting ready to read. This is what made me want to come on here right now. Okay, I'm getting ready to read it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna flip it. Gonna flip it, you all. We're gonna flip it. What are the dangers of the metaverse? 10 risks to watch out for in the metaverse. Harassment and cyberbullying. It's already happening on social media. Problems with the mental health. It's already happening in the real world. Theft of identity. It's already happening in the real world. Companies collecting unauthorized data. It's already happening in the real world. Attacks via ransomers. It's already happening in the real world. Perceptions of the real world also change. It's already happening in the real world. Deepfake videos, it's already happening in the real world. Attacks using social engineering, it's already happening in the real world. So, will we one day live in the metaverse? All of these things, these risks are already happening right now. It's already happening. So, um, it says many metaverse leaders, does metaverse have a future? Many metaverse leaders doubt there is any future for crypto. They're lying to you. They are lying to you. The metaverse should not be thought of as an overhaul to the internet, nor something that will replace all mobile devices, software. It will produce new technologies and behavior. They're lying when they say that right here. Metaverse leaders doubt there is any future in crypto. There is one crypto, and I listened to him, one crypto that's being built on the blockchain. This is a company. It's the name of it is really interesting too, you all. The name of the one company. Okay, you remember, wait a minute, let me do this. Lamina, Metaverse. Let me do this. Metaverse. He was one of the speakers that I listened to. You listen to this. Remember the video? Look, Lamina, building the open metaverse together. And he's one of the speakers in the metaverse thing, blockchain. And when you go to Lamina, you know what Lamina was? There was this thing that Laminin, you remember Laminin? If you've seen the video Laminin, Laminin, what is Laminin? I can't spell it. Wait a minute. Okay, it's it was like that cross-like symbol, like in the DNA or something is what it was. It was. They said that it was like junk. This is what it was. Laminin protein proof that God exists. This is what laminin looks like. So when I heard that company, and this is its structure right here, okay, so what did they say? Where was we at, you all? Oh, I was talking about this. This is building the open metaverse together. This company, why did they name them company Lamina One? Really think about it. So you can go to jail. You can't go to jail in the metaverse, but you can get banned. And when they say, does metaverse have a future? It has a future. And the crypto is tied to it. The main crypto that you use in metaverse is crypto is the ape coin. Why do they call it the ape coin? Because I guess they say man derived from ape. Let me see, crypto, metaverse crypto. The main one is, let me get this right here. Which crypto is used to it? They say it's a native, it's part of the Ethereum blockchain. I know I said it, the top 5 coins. You have Medicaid, you have ApeCoin, Axie Infinity, the Sandbox. These are all crypto. Crypto, that's money. That's money. So it's going to be tied in. Any type of virtual gaming you use, you're going to use it, you all. You are. So let's get back to this. Will we live in a metaverse one day? Yeah. And look at this, Time Magazine. This is where the future is going. How the metaverse will shape our future, Time Magazine. Will it, look, will it, okay, is metaverse the end of our world? No, the metaverse isn't over. Instead, all the sacrifice of 11,000 employees aims to develop this virtual world as soon as possible. Mark Zuckerberg is putting all his hopes and company into the metaverse, and the project will end soon. Is what will happen after it laid off. Who owns the metaverse and stuff? The big 4, whatever that is, you all. The big 4. And you can get rich in the metaverse. flipping digital assets, hosting virtual events, participating to play to earn games. If you play video games, if you play word games, you can watch commercials to get more whatever. Virtual space, investing in metaverse tokens. You all, this is do people want to go? That's a virtual world. So they said if you missed the very beginning of this video, by 2040, let me show you this. How long until we live in I can't believe I'm saying this. How long till we live in the metaverse, you all? Really think about that. How long is it till we get to move and start living our life in the metaverse, because our life here on earth is just so terrible. This physical life that we live in is just so terrible. Can you believe that I can't believe that I'm reading it, but I do. The results of this non-scientific study, 54% say they expect by 2040, the metaverse will be a much more refined, truly, fully immersive, functioning aspect of daily life for 500 million people. But if you go by how many people's on the earth right now, which is 8 to 9 billion people, no, 500 million is 500 million, which is on the Georgia Guidestones that got demolished. Why do you think they picked that timing? The timing of that Georgia Guidestones coming down, think about it. The timing, it was very symbolic. Very symbolic, you all. Oh, I forgot to say this one thing when I was listening to the one speaker, and really, when you speak in a foreign language, you can hear. It's really cool how somebody can interpret just like that for someone speaking. He said, what did he say? Because this is important too. Half a bill. Shoot, it just slipped my mind. Oh, okay, I know. In order to whatever they're focusing on here in the carbon and stuff, you would have to devalue everything, devalue the currency, devalue it all around the world in order for us to move forward with this carbonless thing. It would have, that's what he said, you have to devalue it. That's the way, and that's how he fit capitalism. And then he spoke about capitalism. Do away with it in every single country, devalue its worth, and start build, more or less build. And the way they're going to build is with the digital. Yes. Yeah, you are. The Giants. Are we talking about basketball on here? I don't even know what's happening. I'm pausing. I really am. I'm kind of pausing. I don't know what basketball got to do. That's what they said too. Virtual reality, if you wear those things, it makes you nauseous. But like like Mr. Musk said, you'll have a Neuralink in your head. And they want factories that can do that for the people. Really. They want factories that can do that by the people. So by 2030, they want a large population of people to be in it some way. But by 2040, look at this. The majority, others, she said, will live the majority of their waking hours jacked in. How can you be jacked in? You're plugged in. You're plugged in. You're plugged in. And that would be those useless global people. Remember? A useless global society of the people. They have no jobs because AI took over, or the computers took over, the robots took over. So they got to do something with the useless people. Well, they're the useless people since they can no longer do physical jobs. They will live the majority of their waking hours jacked into the metaverse. Yeah. Yes, Janie, honey, that's true. So, yeah, I don't like to make this too long of a video, really don't, but really, they are truly discussing that, the devaluing of currency, um, crypto, digital, the digital things are rising. They are the digital markets. You had to get rid of the currency that you have, but then you have digitalized currency also. By many countries have their own digitalized currency. Um, and you will be, it will be a much more refined, fully immersible. I don't want to live in that world. And those who don't live in that world, you all said, what would that world be like? Hunger Games and stuff like that. Thank you all for commenting on that thing I put on the community post. Are you noticing shortages in the stores? The main shortages was the cat food. I noticed across all platforms, cat food and eggs are very expensive and stuff like that. I did read last night that they have developed a solution to the shortages. It was rice, biogenetically modified rice. Genetically modified rice for famine. Just like in the Left Behind movie, remember look, is it, are they the answer to world hunger? Remember, if you ever watched any of that years and years ago, um, they came up with a thing that would solve the world hunger. You just eat rice, more or less, I guess. Right here, biotechnology, the solution. Remember that in that movie? So really, do we live in a metaverse right now, some form of a metaverse? Because they were talking about the risk of dangers of living in the metaverse is what they talked about. And some of it was the risk was like you're getting right now. You get attacked, social, all that gang stalking and stuff, cyber stuff. I'm done with it. I'm over it. Yes, I am. Plastic rice. I've heard about that. One thing. Those things, since we're talking about that, the styrofoam like packing things, they look like a cheese puff, a big cheese puff, but they're white and they're really light. They're not the smooth ones, but they're white looking and they look just like a cheese puff. And if you were to put orange on them, they would look like a cheese puff. You know what I'm talking about? You saying something like that? Well, I had some of those. It was like a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago. I thought, this looks like a cheese puff. Um, Probably 3 years ago. And I thought, I wonder what it tastes like. So I put it in my mouth. I just let it sit there. And do you know what? It had the exact texture of a cheese puff, and it literally decompressed in my mouth. And I started chewing on it. I didn't swallow it. And I thought, you know what? All that's missing is a cheese flavor. That's what I said. That's all that's missing. Because I had a cheese puff and I did that to the cheese puff. I'm serious, you all. I'm not joking. Do it. I mean, don't go out and do it. But if you want to try a scientific experiment, get you one of those. If you have some, put it in your mouth, let it dissolve, and then do the same thing with a cheese puff. The real cheese puffs or the make-believe cheese puffs, it tasted, I really felt like that's the only thing that's missing is the cheese flavor. I did. That's right. Danny, honey, I wasn't smoking nothing. No, I was doing a scientific experiment. And it's okay to be inquisitive and come to a certain hypothesis. The conclusion I came to is it had the texture of that. It did. That's right. The texture of it, all it was missing was powdered cheese, the cheese flavor. But really, the thing is, will we one day live in the metaverse? And the non-scientific consensus was that yes, by 2040, they said 500 million people will live in the metaverse, is what they said. 500 million. 500 million is 500 million. 500 million is on the Georgia Guidestones that got demolished. That's right. Good morning. So the quantum financial, Mark, honey, people who want this quantum financial thing to happen, be very, very careful what you're wishing for. Very, very careful. Because with it, your whole life comes crashing down in ways that you could never, ever, ever imagine. Really. And this will be worldwide. Society will completely collapse. Everything. And it's not as pretty as they paint it. It's not as pretty as they paint it. Be careful, very careful what you wish for, and prepare yourself on the inside if you want a future like that. It doesn't matter. It's coming anyhow, but it is not all rosy and all whatever. It's not. This literally will. You know how you see civilizations, how they come crashing down? Yeah. So we are kind of living in like a metaverse right now, really, with social media and stuff like that. We are. And in that type of a world, you do have a digital identity. And right now, your digital identity is so important. They have cookies. Every site you visit, they have cookies, even with Google, even YouTube, every site you went through on multiple platforms, your cell phone, your tablet, your computer, all of it, the data, they gather data from every site that you visited, everything that you looked at, every conversation, and they sell it for profit. That's your digital identity. It is. And you probably have a digital social credit score too. So this is really, it's no make-believe or nothing. It's nothing to balk at. This is the future that we're heading into. It is, in all seriousness. And some may not feel that that's coming. It's already happening. It has not reached full implementation, but we're going headfirst into that new world, a brave new world like that. And there will be some that will not go into that world. They're trying right now to cut themselves off from that world. But as the future gets closer, you'll realize how intricately attached we are to that world that's being built. A new world is being built. Okay, it is. To replace this world that we live in, a new world. And whether you like it or not. So, yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all I got to talk about, you all. It is. It all ties in together. You just better prepare yourself mentally, really. Get yourself strong on the inside. Get yourself some love. That's right. To go forward, because love has lots of wonderful attributes within it. It does. It will protect you. It will. So with that being said, thank you, Apple Brooks, honey. If we got any other moderators on here, thank you. Thank you all for your comments, you all. This is really serious food for thought because it's happening. It is. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your morning, you all. Thank you.